This is Lo-Fi Lee here at the Retro Music Extravaganza, and I am sitting with Crusher Chris Carmine from
the Crescent City Maulers.
Woo! All right, baby. And I know you're slapping that bass in that band.
I'm trying. I'm keeping the monkey happy.
What's that bass made out of anyway? It's killer.
It's pure aluminum. Pure aluminum. Solid. I have a problem with the wooden ones. I tend to break them.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I tend to break them.
Oh, what do you do? You beat up on them or what?
I kick them, spit on them, make them do what I want them to do.
You're talking about your bass now.
I'm talking about the bass. I'm talking about the
right.
bass.
Want to make sure what we're talking about here. And so you guys are basically your combination of jump, jive, and swing, would you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We've got two kinds of influences. We've got the Harlem influence, and we've got the Louisiana influence down in New Orleans. And we kind of put the two together, but we gave it a little bit of a modern edge to it because we like it rough.
Right.
So we play it a little rougher than normally, and it tends to happen for us.
You guys have been really taken off. I mean, I know that you guys played at Lead East over the summer, and it seems like ever since then you guys have been on a real roll. I know every time I check the paper, you're playing like 4 or 5 times a week. So you guys are...
It's been incredible. We can't really keep up with... We started out literally just to have a little bit of a good time, do what we really wanted to do for so many years. But then when it took off, we couldn't contain it. So we're rolling with it as much as we can, but it's incredibly hectic for what we're doing. It's hard to keep the energy level up. We do the best that we can. We only take the gigs that we feel that we can physically do. Other than that, this thing's like right here. Other than that, it's pretty cool.
Thanks very much, guys, for coming down. And here they are, the Crescent City Maulers. How did the band get into swing music? How'd you get into it?
Well, I played rockabilly since, I guess, about 1982, 1983, right up until about 1985, but I always tended towards a swing influence. My life growing up was always swing. It was never rock and roll. And later on, I got out of the rockabilly, and I really wanted to play swing. All I wanted to do was jump and jive. I couldn't find any people that wanted to do it. till one day I know a sax player, Tony, was no longer in a band that he was in. He was free and open. I went to his place of work and would not leave his shop until he said okay he'd play. So we got together, we found Al and we found Lenny, and we got it all together, and we worked so well together that we kept it as it is, and we won't change. We will not change people. But every member of the band does his own thing, his own quarter of the band perfectly. We fit so well together. That is why we can't change. We can't do a sit-in. If I'm sick and I can't do a gig, very rarely will we do the gig, because it just doesn't happen for us. We've got to have our personalities meshing.
That's great.
Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
That's great. Yeah, it's so important, obviously, for a band. I mean, when it's not called, Crusher Carmine and the Swing Cats. I mean, it's really important when it's a band, I think, for politically, for all the band members to really get along and interrelate well. Otherwise, you just end up with...
Each member knows that without the other member, they're kind of screwed. It doesn't happen. Personality-wise, it doesn't happen. You don't have Lenny and Al fist fighting on stage. You don't have me and Tony off in some far off corner doing whatever it is that we're doing while we're playing. It doesn't have. You have somebody up there that you don't really know who he is or how he feels or what he's thinking, and it just can't gel with you inside,
So the fist fighting is like an integral part of the band.
We couldn't play without it. These two grew up together as children, and that's all they do is fight, constantly fighting. One says white, the other one has to say black. If the other one says white as well, they look at each other and they figure out another way to fight about it.
You guys are one hell of a live band. I think that your saxophone player is just awesome, and of course people who are watching this are going to be able to see the band live. But this band does play around quite a bit here in New York and New Jersey, and I think when they see them on Retro TV tonight, that they're going to get turned on and want to see you guys.
Walking with my baby, she's got great big feet. She's long legged, thinking she had nothing to eat, but she's my baby, and I love her just the same. I'm crazy about you, baby, 'cause Caledonia is your name. Oh yeah, Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big ass so wide? I love you just the same. Why is that? I'm crazy about you, baby, 'cause Caledonia is your name. Laughing on monkey. You know, my mama said to leave Caledonia alone. No fooling, she said, son, get away from that woman, you know. But my mama didn't know Caledonia was putting down. So we're going down the house and ask you one more time. Caledonia! Caledonia! What makes your big ass so wide? I love you just the same. I'm crazy about you, baby, 'cause Caledonia is your name. One more time. Caledonia, Caledonia.
Chris, thanks a lot for coming on the show. And once again, this is Chris Crusher Carmine from
the Crescent City Maulers. Come down and see why they call me the Crusher.
on Retro TV. Hey, swingers and loungers, and welcome to Retro TV. This is Lo-Fi Lee at the Retro Music Extravaganza with Voodoo Martini. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Lee. Pleasure to be here.
I really like the outfits, guys. Where do you shop for your clothes?
Actually, these were custom-made shirts by Dorina Fashions.
Is that Dorina of Vegas? Dorina of Brooklyn?
Dorina of San Francisco, actually. Yeah, but we wear these when we do go out to Vegas, Atlantic City. Very popular outfits down there in the casinos.
Excellent, excellent. This is a terrific band, and you folks at home will, of course, see them tonight. How did the band actually come together? How did you guys meet, and how did you decide to go the musical direction that you went?
Well, I had nothing else to do, and I thought it'd be good. No, maybe Phil should tell that story.
Phil, take it away.
I'm a songwriter, and I just happen to have kind of these Latin-esque kind of numbers, and it made sense to focus the group in that direction. And in my travels down south, I go down to Texas frequently. That's where my relatives live. I had seen some of the bands down there, such as the Naughty Ones and what was that band from Virginia, the Useless Playboys, who used to play up here in New York frequently, and they kind of tuned me into this whole sound and so forth. So it was really a natural progression to move into that for me as a singer and songwriter. And been working here with Pell Mell for a number of years, and these two guys came on board, and everything just gelled.
Lap dance contigo. Lap dance conmigo. 2, 3, 5. Should I take this chance to have myself a dance, a lap dance with you? I walked into the room, the night was in full bloom for a lap dance with you. Lap dance, she charmed me with her hair. Lap dance, so let's go find a chair. Lap dance, so 20 in advance. Secured my only chance for a lap dance. Oh, a lap dance. Oh, a lap dance. Contigo. With her I had no fear. I clutched her by the rear for a lap dance with you. Slipped off my wedding ring. Lap dance, that tangled heard she scream. Lap dance, when we were far from through. This truth I'm telling you. Lap dance, oh, lap dance, oh, lap dance. Contigo. The moon's muy caliente. My probing hands shoved up in a lap dance with you.
to Billy's on 6th Avenue. I get a good value for my topless dollar there. Yeah. Come to Papa. Make room for Daddy, honey. You know what I like. Ah. Oh. Ah. Oh.
What do you think about the term lounge? Is that anything you guys embrace, or do you feel that it's limiting?
I think we do what we do, and if somebody wants to put us there, that's okay. If they like us, that's cool.
As long as
I don't
it's
think we intentionally go out to sound lounge. We have some elements, some pop overtones, some of that 50s mambo Latin overtones, but when we strip it down, we also have surf guitar sound there, and we have rock and roll elements. So it's just a whole mixture of things that, if it comes out the lounge, all right. But we do original material, which is something that a lot of bands that are in the lounge area don't do too much of. So I think that Texas, we have good songs. Phil's been writing great songs for a long time, so that's the strength of the band, is the songs and the percussion, background vocals, and put it all together. Good rhythm, and that's the band.
Phil, what do you think of lounge music in general? Do you listen to any of the old lounge music or any of the current bands? I mean, not that lounge is not that I'm saying that it's an influence of you, but what do you think of lounge in general?
Years ago, I hated it, but now I like it. And there was one record growing up we used to listen to, this Arthur Lyman record, Taboo. And that was actually the only one lying around the house when I was growing up, and that's kind of this Polynesian exotica stuff. I like a lot of what the bands are doing out there. I think the Kings of the Hill are Combustible Edison in that genre, and they're definitely treading new waters, and they're pioneers in the sound. Of course, like any other genre music, for every 10 CDs that come out, 9 are garbage, but then you have one that's really strong and solid. And what kind of amazes me is that locally here in the tri-state area, there's not too many bands or combos out there really doing it. And we've been on the bill with a number of heavy metal bands at various rock clubs, and that's always a true adventure for us.
Let's have a party. Let's have some fun. You come unglued, and I'll come undone. We'll dance and sway under the starlight, having fun together and holding each other tight. So many places I've seen, so many dances I dream. Just another player in this timeless masquerade. Gigolo for hire can fill a heart full of woman need. No time for thank yous, there's so many more out there to play. So let's have a party. How we love those words. A Voodoo Martini, shaken, not stood. Smoky dance floor calls us for a little cha-cha-cha. I'm wearing my tuxedo, and you're wearing nothing at all. Memories of this night are all that you and I'll have left. We lay for the gusto, but there was none out there So many places I've seen, so many dances I dream. Just another player in this timeless masquerade. Jiggle for hire can be so good for a night on the town. Four walls of loneliness, but these are gone and can't be found. So let's have a party, let's have some fun, a gigolo romance, two people on the run, like two ships passing each other in the night, two jaded lovers fading out of sight.
This is Lo-Fi Lee for Retro TV, sitting with Voodoo Martini. I thank you guys for coming on the show and for playing Don Hills. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys up there tonight and kick some ass.